Hello and welcome to the third video devlog for Project Sentinel. In the last session I created a tool to generate floors using instanced static meshes. So I'm going to start off by replacing the existing floors in the level before laying out the rest according to my plans. I'm going to be adding to my plans as I work to add extra areas built specifically to teach mechanics and introduce hazards. As before, I'll time-lapse the video and resume normal speed for anything I feel is worth talking about. So what I've done here is taken the floor generator and duplicated it. I've come into the blueprint and I've removed the Y axis from the logic because we're only interested in it tiling along the x-axis. You can see that if I select the model here, the red arrow is the x-axis. We're only interested in the wall tiling along that way, and we can just rotate the blueprint for wherever we need the walls. One thing I'm considering doing is adding the logic to be able to tile vertically on the z-axis, but for now this will suffice just to plot the rooms out, and then I know in these areas here where I've got multiple walls stacked on each other, they are 100 centimeters up, which overlaps the model, but I can get away with it with these particular models. So I'll probably set that to a meter unless I can work out exactly how tall this wall is. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. I'll continue the time lapse. So at this point, the mechanics for the room, for the puzzle that will be in this room, aren't built. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some placeholder floor over so that you can traverse the area along the path that the traps and the mechanics will be. I'm just looking at my plans here. Once I've got the entire floor plan down so that it's possible to walk around this place, I'll start making everything work, switching things out for moving platforms rather than just walkways. Yeah, all the fun stuff. I'll continue the time lapse now. Okay, so looking at my plans, I feel like the trap set up in the first area is probably going to be more difficult than what I've got set for the second, so I'm just going to switch those around now, and that's why it's handy just blocking this out and getting a feel for what this looks like in engine as opposed to in a pixel map or on paper. So I'll get on with that now and continue the time lapse. Okay, so I've reached a point now where really to continue building the skeleton of this, I need to make the large lift platform which will be interactable. So I'm going to have to set up the blueprint for that now. So in the blueprints folder, I'm going to right click, go to blueprint and want a blueprint interface. I'm going to call this BPI for interface underscore interact. And we'll open that up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is rename the function interact, and then I want to have an input, and we'll get interacting player just in case we need any player data in the future. We'll just get a character object reference for that. Okay, so I think that's everything I'm going to do in here. I'm going to save the interact interface now, and looks like I need to save the wall generator. I'll do that too. Now I'm going to jump over to the player character. Then in the class settings, I want to go implemented interfaces. I'm going to search BPI interact. So now that exists on the player character. We'll save that. We've got no means of calling it yet, but I'll set that functionality up shortly. We're going to want the blueprint, and we have a smooth mover. So I'm going to duplicate this because that was tutorial stuff, like a guided lesson to create that. I'm going to call this large elevator. Yep, so BP large elevator is good with me. Then the next thing I want to do is get an idea for what the size of this 4x4 space is if I scale a mesh up. So we're going to go sci-fi floor. One of these here. And just put it pretty central. And now I'd say maybe 4 on the scale, but let's see. Yeah, it is 4 on the scale. Or if we make it 2 on the Z. Yeah, maybe even 1 on the Z. Yeah, quite like that. Yeah, that'll work. So I can delete that. And we'll go back to the blueprints. And large elevator. Back in the viewport, this static mesh, we're going to make 4 on the X scale, 4 on the Y scale, and maintain the 1 on the Z scale. We don't want the box collision, that's not what we're doing. Oh no, let's disconnect the code first. So now we should be able to delete the box collision. Yeah. So on begin play, the start location is set, and that's taken from where the actor's placed. And we have the locomotion set up. We just need to set a target location, so maybe just say -500 for now, just to see it working on the Z axis, because it will be a lift going down in most cases, at least from its starting position. Okay, and now we'll go into the class settings, and we will implement the interface. BPI interact, and we now have the interact interface here that we can implement the event with. And we'll do this on a flip-flop. Actually, we will do it on a flip-flop. But we also want a boolean is in motion, and we're going to set this to true when this activates. So we want to plug this into a branch to see if we are actually in motion before we decide to call the animation again. We'll want 2 of those. So if is in motion is true, then do nothing, but if it's not, then flip-flop between the 2 positions in the animation. Just do that, play and reverse, and then in each case from that, let's just grab all this so we can move it. In each case from that animation, when it's finished, we want to set is in motion to false. Okay. So now we just need a means of calling interact. So on the player character, I think the fastest way that I can get this working would be to what have we got here? Melee points. Okay. So yeah, I think the best thing to do would be on the character's mesh, so that it's, or the capsule component, so that we're always facing forward with the box. We'll add a box collision. And we'll just scale that up a bit. So that anything in front of the player character, when it's within the box collision, we'll be able to press E and interact, will be the plan. Maybe even make this a little bit bigger. No, not quite that big. I think that's a good range for in front of the player character. Okay, so maybe somewhere down here, just to start figuring this out. Get the box collision, and can we get the hit results? Make hit result. No, we don't want made hit result. What we probably want. Ah, here we are. Maybe on component begin overlap. We'll try this. That's at borders. Want this up here where we've got some space. Maybe the collision box isn't the best way of approaching this. Let's try something else. Let's do a box trace by channel, and then we'll delete the box overlap, delete the box, because we want this isn't set up with enhanced input actions, I believe. Let's find something that's an actual button press. Yeah, left mouse button. So this isn't using the IMC setup or anything. So I just want to search for keyboard E. When it's pressed, we want to box trace by channel, we actor location for the start location, and actor location plus what axis will we be on? The x-axis. So plus maybe 500 just so that we can see it works for the end. Orientation, we want to get actor rotation, plug that into the orientation, debug type for duration for now, just so that we can see that this works, and we'll compile, save, and let's just see if this actually works for us. Okay. So because of the camera's orientation, we're only box tracing in front of us. Just have a tweak with this and figure it out. So just to test that working, let's go into the game. Let's actually place one in the game. So we're going to place the large elevator platform we want a part of this to be sticking up, so that there is something to interact with. So we're going to add a static mesh onto this. And we're just going to find SM underscore, it might have been called console or something like that. There's something that would be perfect. Computer, is that the one? Yeah. Is it computer large? Is that's a better size, but let's make this bigger. About that. I think that's good. We'll put that there. Compile, save. Okay. And now I'll rotate this round. So we should be able to interact with this now. We'll just see. Yep, so we press E on the keyboard and it takes us down and then brings us back up. It's just leaping through this now. Okay. Let's get a bit more space here. We're going to say do once. And then we want to reset these when it's finished. Stand on the left and we press E to interact. We go down and we are bouncing again. I'm not sure why it's doing that, so we'll figure it out now. I forgot to actually use the brake here in the interact. So once we've actually got the hit result and we interact with it, we want to stop searching. Just straighten those up with Q. There we go. And let's see if that's fixed the problem. Interact, and we're still bouncing. Okay, back in we go. Okay, maybe the collision box is what's causing the problem. So let's just actually tackle the box trace. Get the mesh. We want the world location of the mesh, and we know that that is the start point. But we also want to know the forward vector of the mesh. Then we want to multiply that by whatever distance we're going for. Can I make this float? Single precision, yeah. So a distance of, let's say, 300 out in front of us, and we're going to want to add that to the world location to get the endpoint. Which is, I don't think that's what I did last time. We'll see how that does for us. Then we want a branch. And we want to break the hit result. And the hit actor we want does implement interface. And that'll be the BPI interact. Okay. Then that's going to go into a branch. So true into checking for the interface. I'll just collapse this now because we only need the hit actor from the hit result. And then we want to interact as a message on that hit actor if it does implement the interface. Just make sure the reroute node is straight there. Then in interacting player, I'm just going to get self, just in case we need that reference for anything that we interact with. And I'm going to try that on E, just to see if that works for us. If I set the debug type to for duration, I should be able to see the box when we hit E. Okay, so yeah, that's more like it. So now half size, let's say 30 on there and see what that does for us. Okay, so if we say 50 and 50, maybe I should have gone on the Z rather than the X, but we'll see in a moment. Yeah, I think that should have been the Z there rather than the Y. Pile that, try again. Okay, that seems better. But can we interact with it? So that definitely works. The logic is broken, and that works better than using the box collision. I'll be rid of that. And we'll get rid of this here, because this is definitely a better way of handling this. Just comment this. Interact, because we know that interact is working on the player character now. black. I'll tidy that away another time. So, what's going on here? Okay, let's get rid of the do once. Let's get rid of this sequence. If I run it out of a custom event, move elevator, and then we want to run move elevator from there on self. We want flip-flop. So from A to B there. Nope, we're just bouncing. I wonder. That's why we're bouncing. This one was set to have 3 points in its timeline all this time. That's where the problem's coming from. So we'll set this value at 1 and the time at 6, which is the actual time for the animation. Compile, save. This isn't set to loop or anything, is it? Let's just check though. Yes, it's set to loop. Now we'll compile and save. And now, we're probably going to find that this just works first time now. This is what happens when I just make a quick copy of a blueprint and think I remember how everything works inside it. So now we're moving down much slower. Yeah, and we reach the point and stay there. So then if I go back and press it again, we move back up. Perfect. Right, so we can actually implement those. I think we're coming close to what I'm going to have to call a full recording here soon, because I'm currently at almost 2.5 hours recording. Obviously that won't be the end result after editing, but it's been quite a while and it's quite late. But we can do a bit more. So now that that works, I can delete this because we don't need it there, and I will go continue laying out some more of the level. I will time lapse from here. Okay, I'm going to have a quick run through this just to check out some of the layout that I've put in here. It's a little bit dull at the moment, but we haven't really got any of the mechanics built into the level yet. But we're getting there. We've almost got the skeleton, and then we can start making all of this work. But after that, that'll be the conclusion to the video, and I will be picking this up again tomorrow. Okay, so it's all traversable. The jumps aren't too difficult to manage. I'd like to experiment with making some longer jumps just to add that difficulty up. Maybe do some different paths, maybe one along this side that's hard to jump across that has a pickup along the middle, just to reward the player. But we'll see about that. We just want the basic functionality of the level in. And once we can make it work in its most basic sense, then we can start adding a bit of flair here and there and making it more fun to play. But for now, I think that's going to be my day's work on here. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall catch you in the next devlog.
Let's go.